What does being a father mean to you?
Oh man, it is a privilege. I mean, it truly is. It is a blessing. It is an honor, um, just to be able to impact young people's lives. And even though I do that on a regular basis, it's something different about it being your own children. It's just seeing them develop, and I laugh with several people because they're like, "You don't like the baby phase?" No, I don't like the baby phase.
Breaking the silence, taking the dive in. Nikki pulling strings like she playing the violin. Made in his likeness, radiant vibrance. Give them all glory in a way to deny it. She gon' make you laugh, she gon' stimulate your mind. Making things shake, she ain't in no wasting time. They can come close but can't imitate the grind. Got a different way to illustrate and innovate designs. BTS podcast, gotta watch that. Teaching us the game, that mean Nikki got class. If you watch it once, you gon' wanna stop back. This an opportunity that you cannot pass. Unleash your inner voice, cause better days coming. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days. Better days, get ready for better days. Better days, better days.
Every voice has a story. Every story has a moment. Welcome to the Breaking the Silence podcast. I'm your host, Arthur, Nikki, Nicole. And today is a very special day because I'm celebrating fathers all day long during Father's Day for the marathon. So when I think about fathers, I think about strength, sacrifice, guidance, love, and legacy. I think about the men who show up every day, often without recognition, doing everything they can to make a difference in the lives of their children and families. Father's Day is also personal for me because I lost my father when I was 15 years old. And not a day goes by that I don't wish he were here to share in life's moments like graduation, those milestones. So today, while we're celebrating fathers, we also honor the fathers who live on through the memories, the lessons, and the love they left behind. Throughout the day, I'll be having real conversations about fatherhood, the challenges, the victories, the lessons learned, and the legacy being built one day at a time. And speaking of legacy, my guest today is someone who is no stranger to the Breaking the Silence podcast, y'all. We've known each other for quite some time, and he's been a guest on this platform several times over the years, y'all. Every time he joins me, he brings wisdom, authenticity, encouragement, and perspective that leaves a lasting impact in me. Like, wow, he really did say that. He's an author, speaker, publisher, entrepreneur, fitness enthusiast, a community leader. But today we're focusing on one of the most important roles he carries, the role of a father. I am honored to welcome my friend, someone I consider as family, Langley Shazor, back to the Breaking the Silence podcast. So after the countdown, please give him a warm welcome. Hey, Langley.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome back.
It feels good to be home. It feels good to be home. Listen, can we talk about your music video for a second before we get into this conversation? You got the whole music video. Like, I was not ready. I was over here jamming. You are
See,
doing.
that's how long it's been since you've been over here.
I know. Way too long. Way too long.
Now, the audience already knows how many hats that you wear.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about that one hat that you wear that has shaped your whole entire life. So today I want to start with the title that means the most to many of us. So out of all the titles that you carry, what does being a father mean to you?
Oh man. It is a privilege. I mean, it truly is. It is a blessing. It is an honor. Just to be able to impact young people's lives. And even though I do that on a regular basis, it's something different about it being your own children. It's just seeing them develop. And, I laugh with several people because they're like, you don't like the baby phase? No, I don't like the baby phase. No, not at all. What I like is when they start talking and asking questions and engaging my intellect, and we get to start having conversations. And for me, it's been a unique experience to have my kids be so close in age and to see that they're two completely different people. It's definitely, it's a joy. I really love it.
Wow. So now, was there a moment, we got to go back a little bit. Was there a moment when you realized and thought that fatherhood changed you, not just you as a dad, but you as a man in general?
Oh man, wow, 100%. It wasn't just about the realization that I was going to be responsible for someone else's life, but it was the realization that I needed to change my life to be a good role model. But that took time. It took a long time. I didn't get that right off the bat. Right? I mean, my kid's getting ready to be 16, and maybe the last 3 or 4 years, I really felt like I was stable emotionally, and I'm able to really engage them and teach them good lessons. We've done some good things, but it didn't feel complete like it does now, if that makes sense.
Right. I agree. But you know what? I think people think parenthood is supposed to come easy, but parenthood doesn't come with a manual. Like, we literally learning every day with the child how to be a parent, a better parent. We're not going to get it right all the time. We might make some mistakes. We might, reach some bumps in the road, but it's hard being a parent.
It is. And it's hard because the world is changing too. And the world that we grew up in is much different than the world that they're growing up in. The things that they have access to is much different than the things that we have access to. And so you have to, I was just telling, I was on a podcast earlier today, as a matter of fact, and we were talking about emotional regulation in fatherhood. And I was encouraging listeners that you got to tap in with your kids. You have to know what's going on. And I'm not saying from an authoritarian perspective, like, I track your phone and your whereabouts, but I mean, like, what's happening in school? What are the things that you're watching? What are the things your friends are talking about? That you have to be tapped in order to be able to reach them.
Yes. I was just having that conversation earlier today. I forgot, we was talking about social media. Mm-hmm. And back then, I went outside.
Yep.
I might have played the video game, but I had a time limit on playing that video game before I had to get ready for bed, get ready for the next day. My mom didn't allow me to stay on these electronics all day, every day. But these kids, you rarely see kids outside. They're on the game system. They're on social media. And social media is, I'm not saying that it wasn't bad back then, people lurking, but now people target you on social media now. It's a little bit different. You have to monitor your kids. Looking for a way to get your business in front of a growing audience? At the Breaking the Silence podcast, I'm helping brands, entrepreneurs, and small business get seen, heard, and supported. Today's featured spotlight is Coolin' with Bree, located in Florence, South Carolina. From cornrows to twists to men's styles, kids' styles, and more. Bree is helping clients look good, feel good, and stay cool. And I can personally vouch for her work. Bree is my loctician, and she keeps me looking good every time I sit in her chair. If you're looking for quality hair care and someone who truly takes pride in her craft, be sure to connect with Coolin' with Bree today. And if you're a business owner, this could be your brand feature right here. Whether you're promoting a business, event, product, or service, Breaking the Silence Podcast offers affordable advertising opportunities designed to help you reach new customers. So, are you ready to put your brand in the spotlight? Send me a message today or email me at breakingthesilencepodcast2024@gmail.com, and let's help your business be seen, heard, and remembered.
You have to, and you just got to be aware when your child starts behaving differently, when they start speaking differently. You got to be able to recognize those signs. It may not be anything, but it could be something,
Right.
but a lot of the issues that you've got parents that are oblivious, right? And you got a lot of young parents, so they're trying to still live their lives and do whatever, like they don't have responsibility, and that's really difficult. And you wonder why so many children end up being wayward. There's no direction, there's no guidance, there's no wisdom, and then when it does come, right, they dismiss it. Right? I don't have to listen to you. You're not my parent. You're not, and then you have parents who reinforce that narrative. So we're losing the community as well.
Yes, the village does not exist anymore. Like back in the day, the pastor could beat me, a church member could beat me, the neighbor could beat me. If I was out of line, they got me back in line and told my mom what I did. So you had the church, you had school, because some of the people at my school, the educators were also church members of mine. So I had it everywhere. I didn't get a break. Okay. But now the like you said, these new generation parents, they get mad if you say something to your child and their children. They're ready to fight, they're ready to fuss. It's a big old thing about believing their children. Your children can be wrong sometimes.
Your children, I taught middle school and I taught alternative. Them kids are wrong a lot of times.
A lot.
You're 11, 12 years old. You don't know much. Okay. So let's dispel that right now. You don't know much. And
okay.
Yeah. So it was always a nightmare dealing with the parents, unfortunately. But you have them saying, it's interesting to me, not to divert the conversation, but it's interesting to me when you have parents who will come up and lose their minds over you saying something to your kids, but don't have that same energy when their kids are in the wrong.
Right.
Like, okay, you can come scream and yell at me and you want to come fight me, but you won't reprimand your kid.
Okay. Now I learned my lesson one time. It took me one time. I went out to school for my daughter, and I was on 100, ready to go off on everybody at the school by my child. I got out there, Langley, and they had a video of my child doing wrong.
There you go.
No more. Did I do that?
Yep.
Your child will embarrass you.
100%. Well, and they're being kids, and they're still kind of learning right from wrong. And that's one of the things. That's one of the biggest lessons for me. You talked about how you learn about yourself as a parent, right, and what you're learning was the emotional regulation side of parenting, right? There are lots of times where I'll tell my kids flat out, like, okay, you know what? I'm really upset about this. And I'm not going to say anything that I want to regret or that's going to hurt your feelings. So I'm going to come back to you. We're going to talk about it when I'm in a better frame of mind. Being able to do that was a blessing for our relationships. And being able to know how to talk with them at their level.
Yes.
That's
important.
When they were 13, they weren't 20, right? They're getting ready to turn 16. Their life experience is different. And it's to go back to the whole tap in. Like I have to make sure that I'm reaching them where they are in order for the lesson to stick. And that took me a long time to figure out how to do that.
But coming from an old school standpoint, that took me a long time, because it's like when you're raised by, in the olden days, your parents, taught you to be seen, not heard.
Yep.
So we had to break away from that and start realizing that, okay, now they have feelings too.
Yes.
We got to learn how to listen to them, not talk at them, but talk to them. There's a difference. And that took a long time for me to do too.
And finding the vocabulary, right?
Yes.
That's because one of the things that we have to figure out is how do they communicate back to us?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really important that we teach them the vocabulary to be able to convey their feelings constructively.
Right. Now, you're known for inspiring because you're always putting these inspiring videos, these motivating others. What are some of the biggest lessons you're intentionally trying to pass down to your children?
I think for both my children, and I have a boy and a girl, for my son, it is this new framing around masculinity. I think you hear me talk about often is that you can be a nurturer, you can have emotion, you can cry, you can be upset, you can talk about your feelings. Those are things that I didn't have growing up. And again, my dad and I have a great relationship. It is no fault of his. He was a Marine through and through. So it was, you do push-ups, you don't cry. That's how I grew up. I didn't realize what effect that had on me till much later on in life. And so one of the things I'm trying to do is, I don't want to say break that cycle, but I'm trying to correct that behavioral pattern. I don't want to pass that down to my son. Like I want you to be able to talk about your feelings. I want you to feel, and with my daughter, it's about being able to be expressive in a different way. She's very creative and she's very artsy. And so I want her to really revel in that. So for her, it's about the confidence to continue to strike out. How do you continue to try things new and be exploratory, right? Discover new things. So that's what I'm working with each of them. And it's been rewarding for all of us, honestly, to help them understand, to help me understand them, and be encouraging and inspiring to them while also still being assertive. That's a hard balance, right? Is to be parent and still have a positive message, right? And still be encouraging, like, hey, I love you. You can do anything, but this thing, not so much.
Right. That is hard. Now, that's a hard thing, and I'm still working on that. Honestly, I'm still working on that part.
I get that wrong a lot. Internally, like I really try not to like just let it come out, but internally, like I'll be talking to him and I'll be like, oh man, I'm ready to go off, and I'm like, wait, hold on now.
Bring it back a minute. Bring it back.
Yeah, hold on. Let's take it down a notch.
That's hard because it's this instant. You want to kick that in, and then you're like, wait a minute. Okay, now this is a moment where it could be a teachable moment.
Yes.
Where I can teach them something and I can be positive with it and I can encourage them at the same time. I can get a lot out of this if I just calm down.
Exactly. And what it also does is it teaches them through experience how to handle those types of situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just me telling you watch me regulate myself in real time.
Right. But it's funny that you said it about, men crying. It's crazy that people feel like men can't cry, like men don't have tears.
Oh.
Men can cry. Men hurt the same way women do.
It's interesting because we made I don't know, maybe it's the discovery during the conversation I had earlier was that, men are really just as emotional as women. It just comes out differently. Or what we've been seeing historically is that we've been taught to suppress it. But it's not that emotions are lost on men. We just lack the vocabulary, the intelligence, the literacy, the regulation, right? That's what we lack. And I would say too, though, women lack it as well, because now they may be more apt to say what's on their mind, but it's not going to come out in a way that we often understand it. Right? So just having the words doesn't make you emotionally literate.
Nope. It don't. So now, with everything you have going on professionally, how do you make sure, your family still gets the best version of you? Because you got a lot going on now.
I tell you, that's probably the number 2 hardest thing, right? Getting the other stuff right is number 1. But the number 2 hardest thing is being absolutely present, right, and giving them that best version. That is something that I'm still working on diligently because I fall short in that area more often than I would like. Right? I'm tired. I've been going 1,000 miles an hour. I've had 67 meetings today. You know, um, and by the time I get to have spend time with them or my partner's children, she has little ones, so and they just want to bounce and have fun and laugh and spend time, and I'm like, I just want to sit here for a second, and I have to really work hard at that. I'm still working on that one.
But it is hard, like, with parents that are working, going to school, balancing so many things that they're trying to build a career. Me being a single mother was rough.
Hmm.
Just imagine doing it by yourself all together, and then you're trying to balance going to football games, basketball games, trying not to miss no milestones in their lives, but at the same time trying to build a legacy at the same time.
Yeah,
It's hard.
I applaud everyone who's doing it. At whatever rate you're doing it at, listen, you are doing a good job. You're not going to get that right every time. You're not
No.
always going to feel like it. You're not always going to be in a good mood. You're not always going to be happy, but you keep showing up. And
Right.
I'm going to tip my hat to everybody who's doing that right now, especially the dads who are out there doing that.
Right, right. So now, what has been one of your proudest moments as a father so far?
Oh man, um, I have two. I'm gonna speak from both my daughter and my son. Um, so I grew up singing in choir in high school. Went to all district, all state, did all these different competitions. Was selected to go sing for a university, and so to see my daughter follow in those footsteps and to make it to all district and get invited to all state and to sing these solo pieces, I was like, full circle moment. Yeah, right. Like that was so cool, man. I cried. They sent me the videos and I was just beside myself with joy. It was amazing. And then for my son, he got to come and visit, and we had a really deep conversation about life and about my life and the choices that I made. And bring it up to the present, when he first arrived here, and we got out, and I was handshaking with all these people, different people. Like in the first 24 hours, he met like 4 or 5 senators, a bunch of commissioners, some directors, like all these people. And then he saw how people treated me when we were out in different places, and the respect that I had, all these different things. And so he sat down one day on the couch, and we were watching TV. He was like, "Dad, I get it." I said, "You get what?" He said, I understand why you moved. He said, "You would have never had these opportunities if you just stayed in Bristol." That, man, that touched me in a different way that I can't quite describe. Um, because I always felt like I had done them a disservice, even though I knew, like, logically it was the right decision to move and have these opportunities, but I always felt like I did them a disservice. And for him to be able to come to that conclusion, like that was a powerful moment.
Now you better not come over here trying to make me teary eyed.
Listen,
I
I'm
feel
gonna
wells in my eyes.
get me a towel. Like, let me tell you
A
that.
minute, nah, you gonna make me cry. And we ain't
Listen,
had that moment yet.
oh my gosh, like that. I'd never experienced anything like that ever.
Wow.
So that was that was. I mean, they're tremendous kids. And I'm not saying that because they're my kids, because I know people who have kids who are not very good kids. So I'm not just saying that. But yeah, that was both of those moments were just, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Now you can't skip over the fact that you got all this talent you just said you had. Y'all, when I first met Langley collected typewriters. I don't know if you still do.
Yep.
Our very first episode, that amazed me that he collects old antique typewriters. Now he just skipped over the fact that he was singing in the choir. Did you say that?
I did say that. Yeah, yeah. I breezed past that part. It was just for
Real
context.
fast.
It was just for context. We're gonna zoom
Now I
back.
learned something new. Every time he come up here, I learned that he knows how to do something else every time.
Perpetual motion, man. Always learning.
But that does mean a lot coming from your kids when they say, they're proud of you, or they feel like you made the right decisions and things, because sometimes we think we're making the wrong decisions and we're thinking that we're hurting them. But in reality, it ended up being the best decision we made.
100%. My daughter once, a few years ago, was sharing some of the stuff that I was doing with her friends. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Thanks for doing that. And she was like, Dad, you're my biggest flex. I was like, what? Okay. So, we're doing something right.
Doing something right. You're doing something right. Now, when you, as the old folks say, when you look back over your life, but I'm gonna say, when you look back over your journey, of fatherhood, what has fatherhood taught you that you don't think you could have learned any other way?
Patience of a different type, and communication of a different type. I'm very good with communicating with vice presidents and CEOs and all these other people, right? I can do that all day long. Talking with my kids, because you always want to be parent, right? But then some people go too far to the other way and become friend and lose authority. And so being able to be both parent and friend challenged me in my communication style in a way that I couldn't have done any other way.
Now that's true, because when they're growing up as children, of course you're the parent, but when they cross over into adulthood, you kind of formulate that friendship to a degree, but
Yes.
they still know that you're the parent too. But now they're looking at you for advice and guidance in life of things that they're gonna eventually go through. So that's when you cross that line, but at the same time you don't get too close to that line.
Yeah.
They still got to respect you.
It's still, and I mean, and it's something that you have to work at that consistently, I believe.
Yes.
It's easy to either revert back to full parent or to cross over into full friend, right? And you got to always be able to, and I think that's what makes it such a challenge, is that the world is changing and they're changing, right? So you have two dynamics happening simultaneously that you have to try and navigate and still be, hey, at the end of the day, I'm still your dad. You're not going to talk to me crazy. You're not going to talk to me like I'm your homeboy, but we are friends, and I want you to be able to talk to me about everything.
Right. Right. You're right. But I keep saying this over and over again, that once your children become adults, that's when true parenting really starts for me. And it gets harder.
Yeah.
It's not easy, because they're gonna pull against you. They're gonna play tug of war. They're gonna listen sometimes, and sometimes they're not gonna listen. And then you're gonna have to clean up the mess that they done made over and over again because they're not listening. To me, it just gets harder when they become adults.
Well, they have more autonomy, right? And that's what makes that interesting. Is they strike out on their own, and everybody wants that until they fall flat on their face. And then, like you said, you got to be there. And we have this interesting thing in it's very much steeped in the Caribbean culture, but it's also kind of steeped in like the Black experience. Like, you turn 18, get out. And we're doing our children a disservice, right? Because 18 as the legal age does not mean you're a mature adult.
No.
You don't know anything about the world yet.
Nothing.
You literally have been sheltered for the first 18 years of your life.
You're right. But you know what? They went from 18 to 21 when it came down to drinking and buying tobacco products and stuff like that. I still don't think at 21 you know nothing. You know nothing.
Let me I tell everybody, I didn't really start to understand or come into my own until 35.
Okay.
Every bit of it. 35 was when everything started. It was like, okay, now it's starting to make a little sense here.
Right. And it's sad, but really, and to be honest, even after 35, you're still learning things.
Yes.
You're still learning how to have patience with people and things. You're still learning what peace is like. You're still learning a lot of things in life that you never knew existed when you was 21.
100%. And you touched on it. Peace. Peace is the absolute, hands down, priority thing in my life at this juncture.
Me too.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what it is. I don't care what's going on. If it disrupts my peace, and not in a dismissive way, right? Like, I'm not saying, oh, you're disrupting my peace just because you're saying something that I don't like. We're not saying that, but we are saying that if it genuinely creates chaos, I can't do it.
Dismiss yourself. I'm too old for it. I can't.
Stress, diabetes, heart disease, 3 top killers of Black people. Nope, not gonna be me.
I'm already dealing with it. I got the heart. I have the congestive heart failure. I got the high blood pressure. That in itself is enough. I can't.
That's enough. Yeah, you can't add stress on top of that, right?
No, 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 no. I'm with you on that. So now I'm down to my final question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
If your children were sitting here watching this conversation years from now,
Mm-hmm.
what would you want them to know about the man behind the title of dad?
Oh, I've always said that I want to build a legacy that people can be inspired by and my children can be proud of. And that's what all encompassing, right? That I am here to inspire, to uplift, to empower, to encourage, and to help.
You're already doing that every day.
That's it.
Every day. So you're on the right path.
That's it. That's what I want them to, and if they find it in themselves to want to carry that torch. My daughter's already doing it. My son is very, very empathetic. So, if they want to take that further, the sky's the limit.
I love it. I love it. So now I'm going to pass the mic to you. So
Okay.
after the countdown, this is your moment to let everybody know what's going on with you. Where to get those books, is y'all. He got books.
Yeah.
All the amazing things you have going on after we come back.
All right.
So before I pass the mic, I just want to say thank you. I am grateful to be able to converse with some amazing people doing amazing things every day and share them with you so you can know about these people. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting Breaking the Silence. It means the world to me. So if this space has inspired you, challenged you, or made you feel seen in some type of way, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel, like this episode, share it with someone who needs it, and drop that comment. Let me know you're here because I want to hear your thoughts. Your support means everything to me. It keeps these conversations going. So now, let me pass the mic so you can know how to get in contact with this amazing guest. So let's get back into this episode.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks again for having me on Breaking the Silence podcast. It's always a pleasure to be back home with my sister. This is a great time. So you can find me on all social media, The Casual Word, Facebook, Instagram. You can email me at thecasualword@gmail.com. I've got books on Amazon. I've got working on another one that's getting ready to come out. I also write a column for men called The Lounge, and that's on the St. Thomas Source. You can look them up on Google and find The Lounge, and it comes out bi-weekly. And we're actually getting ready to expand that into an in-person conversation. So we're going to be taking those articles and then we'll be actually diving into them a little deeper through focused, intentional, vulnerable conversations. So if you have any interest or want to find out anything more about me, I'm super reachable. I am approachable. I will respond. You can message me on any of the platforms. You can email me, and I'll make sure to get back to you.
Now, I didn't know you had all that going on.
That's new. So I've been writing for the paper for almost 2 years. And some people who have been reading the column regularly came to me and was like, hey, we want to start having conversations around these topics.
Wow.
So it's going to be very cool. So it's going to be myself and 2 male guests. And what will happen is the 3 of us will pick an article, we'll read it, and then we'll also send the article out with the promotional material. So everybody who plans to come can actually read the article and know what we're going to talk about prior to showing up.
Wow. So now, is that a different segment of the Casual Word, or this is just something totally different?
It's in line with the Casual Word, right? With everything that I am, but it is something totally different because it's based on the article. So this is called the Lounge Fireside Chat. And it's going to be one of those cool things where we're going to get back to being present. So during the conversation, your phone has to be put away. There's no recording. So if you don't show up, you just miss the conversation.
Wow.
Yep. No live stream, no recording, nothing. So You come. I want it to be a safe space for us to have conversation, and everybody's welcome. It's not just for men, but it is a safe space for everyone. And so the idea is that you're not going to be distracted. You're not going to be on social media. You're not going to be posting, look where I'm at. You got to come and be there.
Wow. So no live stream.
Yeah, no live stream, no recording, no phones, nothing. You can take pictures before and after, but once we start the conversation, you get to put your phone away.
Wow. Okay. Now that should be interesting, though. That should be really interesting.
It should.
But people need to get back to that because phones are a real big distraction for a lot of people.
They are. And also I don't want someone's vulnerability to get weaponized.
Right.
I'm also very big on that. So like if we're having real conversation and someone has a moment of clarity, breakthrough, and transparency, and then someone, puts that video out, that could do irreparable harm to that person.
Right.
And that then defeats the entire purpose of why we're coming together.
Right. I agree. Well, I'm proud of you. You keep amazing me every time you come up here.
Yeah. Perpetual motion. Listen, I'm always if it's going to help people, you can count me in.
Well, thank you so much, bro, for joining me today and sharing your heart, being transparent as always, and sharing your experiences to other fathers out there, other people, other people out there that can learn from this and your perspective on being a father. I really appreciate you. You always show up when I need you.
Hey, I'm always here. You just got.
If he put it on his calendar, he show up.
Yeah.
I remember, y'all. He got too much going on.
But if it goes on my calendar, it's happening.
But sure. Thank you for always showing up and making it happen for me. We've always been locked in. We will forever be locked in. You know how that go.
Oh yeah,
always gonna be locked in. And thank you to everybody else out there that's watching and listening to this episode. I hope today's conversation reminded you of the power of a father's presence, the importance of legacy, and the impact our words and actions can have on the next generation. So whether you're a father figure, celebrating a father, or remembering one, I hope this conversation encouraged you, challenged you, and gave you something meaningful to reflect on. But before I go, I'd love to hear from you. So I got to ask you one question. What's one lesson you've learned from a father or a father figure that has stayed with you throughout your whole entire life? Let me know in the comments, everybody.
Better days, slowly but surely it's a better space. Gotta waste my mind, so I meditate till I levitate. I elevate when I learn not to hesitate. No more, keep moving forward. Chase my goals and focus more towards it. Hate the lows, but I need those to flourish. Place my goals in front, that's what's important. So I ask myself what inspires me. Breaking out of my shell, feeling your shot quiet me. And now I'm breaking the silence like I'm Nikki Nicole. Let's go. Promise you gon' see better days. Gotta keep going till you see them. Promise you gon' see better days. You gotta keep going till you see them.
You